Hi there, welcome to Heart Explained Therapy. Now, this video is going to make you feel uncomfortable because I'm going to explain what life is about, and I'm going to explain why you do what you do. And for some people who didn't know that this is the way the world is, then it's going to be uncomfortable and you'll probably turn it off, to be honest. But through my experience, the most uncomfortable I've ever been has actually brought to me growth, strength, traits that are actually make me grow up in a sense. I would say that I used to be a sort of lost inner child, reacting and sort of interacting with life. And now I've got to a position where I experience, on the whole, a very sort of peaceful look at life, regardless of all the circumstances. Somebody recently said that the best thing that I do as a life coach is sell happiness. Now, I don't really agree that happiness is something that anybody should really aim for. I believe it's an egoic emotion that comes and goes. So when you aim for something like that and you sort of don't think it's going to go, and the sort of carpet gets pulled underneath you, then you get this old life that I used to have, interacting and reacting. So even though it's a great compliment, I understand what this chap meant. He meant that I might not have the circumstances in life that people view as a material object that would make me be as happy as I am. But because of my happiness without all that, it's a very sellable item, and it's what people want. People with money, with wealth, with lots of happiness and family and friends and these big social networks are probably the unhappiest people that I know. So how do you attain this experience in pain? How do you attain the sort of keeping at arm's length the sea of negative waves that just want to keep hitting you? Now, there's a couple of sort of theories on how to do this. There's lots of methods out there. We've now seen that we've become the world of we live in the era where everybody knows mental health and everybody knows that they have got a certain disorder. And this word, even narcissist, is like been seen in 3 memes, and now you get called it on a regular basis, or you know someone who's a narcissist, and all this sort of terminology has come out. And it blows my mind because it is all completely wrong. All of these disorders and these sort of words are technically not true. And now, the true story of life. All that anybody is ever doing, your brother, your sister, your mum, your dad, every single being is distracting themselves from insanity. That is all that anybody is ever doing. The Pope, Donald Trump, the person who has it all, the person who is creative, the writer, the spiritual God. All these people are distracting themselves from insanity. Now, if you think about it, the whole of life is one big system of lots of distractions. The normal ones that we see every day are 8-hour shifts at work, 14-hour shifts at work, TV, material objects like cars, We're seeing a lot now of these sort of videos being made on YouTube, TikTok, this sort of horrible, put a film on for 2 seconds and film yourself dancing and I will make 5,000 likes and I will get 5,000 comments because I moved a shoulder. And it's all just aiming for this avoidance of uncomfortableness. Now, there's some people who think that this is actually just a survival sort of mechanism, and in some sense it is, because you believe inside the insanity of your own mind, or you could argue outside of the layers of the mind, there is no way back. There is no survival. It might not be eternal. You don't know what exists there. And we see now people that are actually sectioning themselves in so much fear of what they might do. And they are not living their life. It's as simple as that. They do not know how to live life. We are uncomfortable in possibly the greatest year that we could ever be alive. We are at the most extreme point, the furthest point of existence that it's ever been, with the greatest technical advances that we've ever had, and yet I would argue 95% of the whole world are completely unconscious, distracting themselves from insanity. So what lies in insanity? What is there that makes it such a scary place to go to? Well, I would say that if you've ever felt that you are alone with a single problem, or you ever felt really alienated, like you are the only one exists. Now I think that everybody's probably felt this at some point in their life. The end of a relationship, a row with family, just in a drunken state, lying on a field, not really sure where you are, or another event maybe. You felt this alienation, this, what is it all about? I need to know. And in that point, there's a place where it is scary. You are plunged into complete madness, but you don't want to stay there and you don't want to go there. So you quickly come back and you latch on to life and the distractions in life. So you propel to get a partner, you propel to quickly make up with somebody because you need them. And the great thing is, in this world, you actually discover, if you stay there long enough, that there is no external realm, if you like. Everything's really a projection of your inner feeling, dialogue, emotion at the time, and you're constantly projecting this out onto the world. And this is difficult to get your head round, and that's what lies in insanity. It's sort of the only place where true sanity exists as well. Now they do say that past geniuses are also, or have also been sort of insane and have suffered with really bad mental health. And I think if that is a true connection, and I only think it's a true connection because I think every human being has this process. We have the process of darkness and light, and we are always torn in between. And the perfect balance is when you accept that you are one thought away from insanity and one thought away from sanity. That this will always be the way that it will be. This makes you go within and makes you see the oneness. And if you are not careful, you will stay there. You will attach to gods, to love, to philosophy, to science. You will sort of hang on with your fingernails because the ego or the consciousness or the mind wants you to stay where there's a bit of comfortability. And I'm saying that not for everybody, but there is a place where you need sometimes to let go. You need to feel uncomfortable to improve and to grow. I believe that there is a large population of people that do bad things based on not understanding love, emotions and empathy because their parents didn't and their parents didn't. And I believe that we have got the Friedrich Nietzsche Overman being created in this world right now in front of our very eyes, but we're unaware of it. It sounds alien to us. It sounds like they have lost the plot. And there's logic and rationale and lots of common sense there. But you, not you personally, but you and others are unconscious and ignorant to any of this information existing. And I think that it's very important, because if you understand that everything you do is always a distraction from the stillness of the mind, from the clarity that you've always required, or the control of your life that you've always, sort of wanted to attach to, then you sort of break down a sort of belief system, a sort of false barrier that you had put up there to protect you. And once that's gone, there's a perspective you will see which will just be rewarding for your life and for the people around you. I know, think about that time where you, say, did something that you really struggled to do. I'm talking about a driving test that you made you nervous, or the ending of a relationship where you thought, my God, you're never going to meet anybody else. When you've finally done it and you've got past probably the first 3 months, 6 months, whatever it's taken, and you've achieved and attained and it's all worked out better for you, which it does because you grow from this pain, you grow, you expand. It's actually the story of the universe. The universe is always in states of absolute sort of chaotic turmoil, but it's a very good mathematical equation that is creative and sort of peaceful at the same time. It's a perfect balance. And if we can break that down into a psyche, into a model where we're not distracted by the crap of the world, we are actually understanding our own emotions and feelings, we are understanding mental health and how it really doesn't exist, and it doesn't exist most times of the day because you've got these distractions in place, and then you can distract yourself from that distraction with another distraction. We could actually be the Overman. And I think it has existed in the past. I think there's been great role models where people have said some of the greatest quotes ever, and it's in sort of authors' work, it's in artists' work. We just don't view it as an achievement, really. And I think this is a place that we have to head to, we have to lean to. And unfortunately it means accepting an uncomfortable truth about life which nobody ever acknowledges. So I'd like you to tell everybody about this video, make them feel uncomfortable, and do me a favour, tell your grandmother, okay?